Hello everyone! In today's science lesson, we will review habitats. Do you all remember what an habitat is? We learned this a couple of weeks ago in science, as well as last year during our reading and heritage studies time. An habitat is a place to live. It is a place where living things can find what they need to live. In order to understand habitat, we must review population, community, and environment. Population is all the living things of one kind in one area. Like these zebras. They are one kind of animals living together in one area. And what about community? Community is made up of all these different population or different groups of animals living in one area. And these different types of animals all need different environments. Environment means all the non-living things that are around a living thing. So these animals will need sun and water to live. And what if these animals in the savanna is forced to live in the Arctic where it's super duper cold? Do you think they'll be able to survive? Nope, they won't be able to survive. So living things like these animals live in different habitats that has different environments. So we learned about 6 different habitats in this chapter. We have the desert, the rainforest, the tundra, the woodland forest, the ocean, and the pond. Let's quickly review each of these habitats. What kind of habitat is this? It is the desert. Very good. Desert is hot and dry. It gets very little rain. So the animals and plants living here has a way of living without much water around them. And animals can also dig underground and make holes, like this lizard, to keep themselves cool. This is woodland forest habitat. Very good. It is home to many plants and animals, and the forest changes with the seasons, so it's cold in the winter, but warm in the summer. And these living things work together. So the plants become food for the animals, and the animals may help spread the seed in the forest. This is the rainforest. It is hot and wet. It rains almost every day in this habitat, and many animals and plants live here. This is the tundra. The tundra is cold and dry. It is covered with snow most of the year, and because it is so cold, only a few kinds of plants can grow. Many animals that live here also has thick fur to survive. We learned that there are 2 different types of water habitat: saltwater and freshwater. An ocean is a saltwater habitat. Plants like seaweed and seagrass may grow on the surface, which means somewhere near the top of the ocean. And there are coral reefs and other animals that also live near the top of the waters because they need sunlight, like this. But deep down in the ocean, it's cold and dark, and some animals may live there, but many of them are still a mystery. So pond is a freshwater habitat. Other freshwater habitats may be rivers, lakes, and ponds. And right here we're looking at pond. A pond is smaller than a lake. So living things like frogs, turtles, ducks, otters, and plants such as cattails and water lilies, they all live here. And there are even insects that come to visit the pond. So those were the 6 habitats that we learned in class. And now let's move on to our pop-up book activity. So we've been working on these pop-up books 2 weeks ago, and what you're going to do is print out 4 sheets of paper. If you were able to pick up your worksheets from school, then you don't have to print these out. But if you haven't, then you need to print out these 4 sheets, and the first one is, it's at the bottom, is My Plan Worksheet. So what you're going to do is you're going to write down the plan for your pop-up book. And you're going to write down how you're going to draw or what colors you're going to use to decorate your pop-up book. And you can look at the sample picture that I will also attach in the email. So here Reese had the Arctic, which is a type of tundra. And Reese wrote his plan on what colors or details that he will use to make his pop-up book. So here it says he's going to make the ground white for snow. To show weather, he's going to draw clouds and snowflakes. And the plants, he's going to make them look short and small. And here are the animals that he's going to glue on his pop-up book. And also, he says that he's going to add an iceberg, where he will draw an iceberg floating in the ocean as a special detail. So you can create that plan first before you begin your pop-up book. And once you're done, and you're going to print out this second paper, which is the background paper for your book. So you will first draw the background of your habitat as you planned. Then once you're done, you're going to fold on this line right here in a hot dog style. So you're going to fold this line with the back side touching each other. For example, like this. So the white side, the blank side will be touching each other, and you're going to fold on the line. Then what you're going to do is you're going to cut the dotted lines. The dotted lines only. Do not cut the other lines. And then you're going to open it back up and fold it again into a hot dog style one more time. But this time you're going to have the colored sides touching each other like this. So right now in the picture it looks like those little strips has been cut off entirely and now you have holes. But it's actually, if you look at this picture, it's popping out on the other side. Once that is done, you're going to glue 3 animals or plants on these little pop-up parts. The third paper you're going to need is this animal sheet. Print out the paper that has the animals from your habitat. If you don't know your habitat, then you can take a look at the email and you can cut these out and glue them on your pop-up parts. The last paper that you're going to print out is the habitat description paper. For this one, you're going to write down sentences explaining your habitat. And you can take a look at the sample in order to complete your habitat description. I hope that this is a fun activity for you. So once you're done with your habitat and you want to make other habitats, you can definitely print them out and make more pop-up books. For those extra ones, you don't have to create these My Plan or habitat description papers. You don't have to do these worksheets, and you can just create other pop-up books. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I will come back with more instructions of what you can do with your books. So until tomorrow, goodbye everyone.